Welcome to your Flame Fundamentals training. Now, when working on any project, the amount of media will vary depending on the type of production as well as how much was shot. This may be beyond your control, but the media panel has enough tools to help you track where you are, organize the clips in a methodical method, and find items for you when your eyes can't spot them. Now, when someone talks about scrolling, I just imagine tons and tons of data going on forever with no end in sight. Why would I even mention something that is so boring and so obvious? Well, when the media panel fills up, Flame has some tiny surprises to figure out where you are in this massive list. For example, I've purposely expanded everything, which in turn expands out this huge list of clips. Now, as you scroll through the list, you may note that all your component headers are collecting at the top of the media panel. We call this dynamic accumulation. So even when you scroll through a component that has loads of clips, you will always know what part of the media panel you're looking at. Pretty clever stuff, yet so simple. Even when you scroll from the desktop to the libraries, the media panel keeps track for you, so you don't have to. The second surprise is that you have these tiny arrows next to the accumulated components. When you click these arrows, you jump to the top of that component. So instead of having one big fat arrow that just takes you to the top of the media panel, you have a more refined way of stepping through the levels of the media panel to look through the various parts until you get to the top. Now, the media panel stores lots of additional metadata about your clips. If you switch the media panel to full width and look at the list view, you'll find so much more information relevant to your clips. You can expose even more information by right-clicking on any column and choose one of the unchecked columns. With all the columns, you can sort by ascending or descending values, either with the right-click or clicking on the column header multiple times. The third click in the cycle will go back to manual sorting. Lastly, as an added bonus, you will find an export option at the bottom of the right-click menu. This allows you to export the media panel as an XML data file, which could be converted into a spreadsheet list of all the clips in the workspace. Very useful for checking what's in your project if you're not in front of your system. Now, even with all these fancy tools to view and sort the clips in your project, sometimes you may not be able to find what you're looking for. So to help you find things, you can use the search tool at the bottom of the media panel. For a quick search, click in the text box and type the name for the clip you're looking for. The search results always appear at the bottom of the media panel, and these clips are accessible for you to use straight away. If you need to perform a more detailed search, click the magnifying glass. This panel allows you to search for any property with a variety of conditions, and you can even use the metadata of a selected clip to locate any others. So searching the media panel is really easy, but you can also dig deep down into the metadata if you need to focus on finding that special clip or clips. Now, there are other search tools for the timeline, effects tools, and so on, but we'll cover some of that later in the series. Please move on to the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the Flame Learning channel. Thanks for watching.